4, 1885 to 1911. 16. Foundation of Muslim League, 1906. Summary. The All India Muslim League was founded in Dhaka, Bengal, with the aim of safeguarding the political rights of Muslims in India. Key points. The Muslim League was established during the All India Mohammedan Educational Conference in Dhaka. Its founding members included Aga Khan III, Nawab Salimullah Khan, and Nawab Mohsin ul-Mulk. The Muslim League initially sought to protect Muslim interests within the framework of British colonial rule. Significance. The formation of the Muslim League represented the growing communal divide and the emergence of separate political identities in colonial India. 17. Delhi becomes the capital of India, 1911. Summary. Delhi was officially declared the capital of British India, replacing Calcutta, Kolkata. Key points. The decision to shift the capital was announced during the Delhi Durbar of 1911, attended by King George V and Queen Mary. The construction of New Delhi, the new capital city, began under the supervision of architect Edwin Lutyens and town planner Herbert Baker. The shift was symbolic, aiming to emphasize Delhi's historical significance and showcase British power and authority. Significance. The establishment of Delhi as the capital represented a strategic and symbolic move by the British to centralize administration and assert control over India. 18. World War I begins, 1914. Summary. World War I began with the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria-Hungary, leading to a global conflict between the Allied powers and the Central Powers. Key points. India became directly involved in the war due to its status as a British colony, with millions of Indian soldiers serving in the British Indian Army. The war had significant economic, social, and political consequences for India, including increased industrial production and wartime inflation. Indian nationalists supported the British war effort in hopes of gaining political concessions, but the war also fueled demands for independence. Significance. World War I transformed India's role within the British Empire and contributed to the growth of nationalist sentiment and demands for self-rule. 19. Jallianwala Bagh Massacre at Amritsar, 1919. Summary. British troops under the command. Certainly, here's the next group of events. Group 4, 1885 to 19. Jallianwala Bagh Massacre at Amritsar, 1919. Summary. British troops under Brigadier General Reginald Dyer opened fire on unarmed civilians gathered at Jallianwala Bagh in Amritsar, Punjab. Key points. The massacre occurred during a peaceful protest against British policies, particularly the Rowlatt Act and the arrest of Indian leaders. Hundreds of civilians were killed and thousands were injured in the indiscriminate firing by British forces. The brutality of the massacre sparked outrage and condemnation both within India and internationally, leading to heightened demands for Indian autonomy and independence. Significance. The Jallianwala Bagh Massacre stands as a symbol of British oppression and colonial brutality, galvanizing Indian nationalism and fueling the momentum of the independence movement. Non-cooperation movement, Chaura-Chauri violence, 1920. Summary. Mahatma Gandhi initiated the non-cooperation movement as a peaceful resistance strategy against British rule. Key points. The movement aimed to boycott British goods, institutions, and government services, promoting Indian self-reliance and asserting national dignity. The non-cooperation movement gained widespread support across India with mass protests, boycotts, and the voluntary surrender of titles and honors bestowed by the British. However, the movement was suspended after the violent incident at Chaura-Chauri, Uttar Pradesh, where protesters clashed with police, resulting in casualties. Significance. The non-cooperation movement marked a significant escalation in India's struggle for independence, showcasing the power of nonviolent resistance as a political tool. The Chaura-Chauri incident highlighted the challenges and complexities of maintaining nonviolent discipline in mass movements. Certainly, here's the next group of events. Group 5, 1918 to 1929. 21 Non-cooperation movement called off, 1922. Summary: Mahatma Gandhi called off the non-cooperation movement following the violent incident at Chaura-Chauri, Uttar Pradesh. Key points: Gandhi suspended the movement as a form of protest against the violence and to maintain the principle of nonviolence. The decision to suspend the movement disappointed many supporters and led to debates within the Indian National Congress. Despite the suspension, the non-cooperation movement had a profound impact on Indian society and politics, inspiring future generations of activists. Significance: the suspension of the non-cooperation movement marked a strategic shift in the tactics of the Indian independence movement and raised questions about the effectiveness of nonviolent resistance. 22. Communist Party of India, organized at Kanpur, 1925. Summary: the Communist Party via CPI was founded in Kanpur with the aim of advocating for workers' rights, social justice, and socialist principles. Key points: the CPI emerged as a response to social and economic inequalities exacerbated by British colonial rule. Its founding members included intellectuals, trade unionists, and activists committed to Marxist ideology. The CPI played a significant role in organizing labor movements, peasant uprisings, and anti-colonial struggles across India. Significance: the formation of the CPI represented the radicalization of Indian politics and the emergence of Marxist ideas within the broader nationalist movement. 23. Boycott of Simon Commission, 1927. Summary: the Simon Commission, appointed by the British government to review the Indian constitutional structure, was boycotted by Indians. Key points: the commission, headed by Sir John Simon, did not include any Indian members, leading to widespread protests and boycotts. Indians saw the commission as an insult to their national pride and demanded Indian representation in the decision-making process. The boycott of the Simon Commission marked a united front against British attempts to exclude Indians from the political process. Significance: the boycott of the Simon Commission demonstrated Indian unity and political consciousness in the face of British colonialism. 24. Civil disobedience launched. Dandi March by Gandhi, 1930. Summary: Mahatma Gandhi initiated the civil disobedience movement, calling on Indians to peacefully disobey unjust British laws and taxes. Key points: the movement began with Gandhi's historic Dandi March, where he and his followers marched to the Arabian Sea to make salt in defiance of British salt laws. The movement certainly here's the next group of events. Group 6, 1935-1947 scene. 26. Resolution of Purna Swaraj, 1930. Summary: the Indian National Congress declared the resolution of Purna Swaraj, complete independence, during its Lahore session. Key points: the resolution declared India's goal of achieving complete independence from British rule. It marked a significant shift from seeking limited autonomy within the British Empire to demanding full sovereignty. January 26, 1930 was declared as Independence Day, and Indians were urged to observe it as a day of nonviolent protest. Significance: the resolution of Purna Swaraj became a rallying cry for the Indian independence movement and laid the groundwork for future struggles for freedom. 27. Government of India Act, 1935. Summary: the Government of India Act 1935 was a significant constitutional reform passed by the British Parliament. Key points: the Act introduced provincial autonomy and expanded Indian participation in governance. It established bicameral legislatures in the provinces and expanded the electorate. The Act retained significant British control over defense, finance, and foreign affairs. Significance: while the Act represented a step towards Indian self-government, it fell short of Indian nationalist demands for full independence. 28. All India Kishan Sabha formed, 1936. Summary: the All India Kishan Sabha, AIKS, was founded as a peasant organization advocating for the rights and welfare of farmers and agricultural workers. Key points: the AIKS emerged in response to agrarian distress and exploitation under British colonial rule. Its founding members included leaders such as Swami Sahajanand Saraswati and N.G. Ranga. The AIKS organized peasant movements, protests, and campaigns for land reforms and economic justice. Significance: The formation of the AIKS represented the mobilization of rural communities and the peasant voice in the Indian nationalist movement. 29. Trial of Indian National Army at Red Fort, World War II ends. 1946. Summary. The Indian National Army, INA, soldiers were tried for treason at the Red Fort in Delhi following the end of World War II. Key points. The INA, led by Subhas Chandra Bose, fought alongside the Japanese against the British during World War II. After the war, INA soldiers were captured and tried by the British for their role